Welcome back, guys. This is Kingdom Rush Frontiers, the Desecrated Grove on veteran mode. This is campaign. Got all the upgrades and a level 10 Aleric. Here we go. So starting off, we have a Necromancer Tower, Artillery Tower in the center, which of course is going to be a Dwarven Drill Ground Pounder. That's just a perfect location for it. And then we have a Barracks. Aleric is going to stand next to the barracks. We want to make sure the barracks are in range of the Necromancer Tower because we want the guys to die and summon skeletons. So as soon as I had the money there, I got a level 3 Artillery Tower. Obviously rushing level 4 as quickly as possible. Did not have the money to start with to get a level 4 Artillery Tower, but that will be our first major upgrade. Scorched Earth is amazing. We don't mess with the drill, but the Scorched Earth is really, really good. So, zombies, I would just put your reinforcements down next to the barracks. You're going to have to let them walk. It's a long walk. Wave 1 is just a long wave. So, here we go. Into wave 1, we have a barracks in the back to stop any chasers. And we have a mage tower level 2 going into wave 2 on that top center there. So, goals, a little bit of a problem. Just rotate Aleric so he can deal with those. We will be getting a ground pounder as soon as possible. You can see this like headless horseman dude. He can go and summon guys. You can actually kill him and get some gold. See little coins there when he dies. But he comes back, so it's not like you can kill him for good. He just shows up periodically and is annoying. That's just part of the level. You'll have a third mage tower towards the bottom. This is also going to be really important. And then we have a level 3 on the top center, so I upgraded that. We're introduced to a couple new enemies. One very dangerous enemy called the Lycans. The ghosts are very, very easy because they're immune to any kind of damage except for mage, but they also take damage to special attacks from like the artillery, for example, or your rain of fire. So it's not entirely immune to physical damage, but for the most part. Still don't have that ground pounder at wave 3, but we will be getting it fairly quickly. I don't think it's necessary to rush like first thing because without the mage towers like in wave 2 and 3 you're gonna run into problems. I had a couple resets trying a really early ground pounder. It's not necessary. What is necessary is to micro Aleric. This is going to be really important this level. A lot of microing to try and chase these abominations. You really want them to like stand at the edge of the ground pounder while you clear off all the other stuff. Aleric can tank these guys for a very long time, as you may have saw in the last video, the Iron Challenge for Bonesburg. You will be doing a lot of kiting, a lot of just tanking with Aleric, running away when he's low, dropping reinforcements down, that kind of stuff. Our main choke point, of course, is next to the Necromancer Tower. We have a little bit of money, so we got a level 4 Wizard Tower at the top there. And the guys with the purple vest, aka the Lycans, reminds me of Resident Evil Village. These guys are very annoying. They turn into werewolf-looking things with health generation. They can run really quickly when they turn into as werewolves. You'll see that a little bit later. They're just, they do a lot of damage. Those things need to die quickly. Otherwise, they will run past your defenses. Overall, this level is pretty straightforward. If you got a good setup, we're doing a ground pounder in the center. We're rushing that Scorched Earth to absolutely slaughter these zombies and also do that chip damage on the abominations. You can see that one Lycan just, man, they get away. They just run, and that's they're so good against guys. Look how fast they tore through those barracks. Anyway, there's only one, so they can, for the most part, they're going to get caught in that choke point in the center area. There is one wave 12, where you will get some Lycans spawning on that top, and it'll hit a full moon cycle, and they will get immediately turned into werewolves and get a massive speed boost. That is probably the worst wave. It's easy if you're prepared for it, but it caught me off guard the first time I did it, and it was just a reset right there. So I'll show you what happens, be prepared for that. Otherwise, pretty easy. Again, Mage Tower at the top destroys these ghosts. They have that cool little animation coming out of that mausoleum. That's really neat. I didn't notice that. Necromancer Tower, of course, is the crown jewel here. It's just the main choke point. We have the Assassin's Guild now. Going to be standing next to the Necromancer guys. We're just going to keep scaling that up. More upgrades. Dark Rider eventually coming out. Pestilence. Upgrades for the Assassins. Just standard stuff to make a really, really strong choke point. And of course, the Dwarven drill in the center there, just doing constant damage to everything. So, more Lycans now. Wave 8. If you keep your hero rotated back and forth, you should be good to go. We're going to get an Assassin's Guild eventually on that back barracks, but I would not rush that either. I would primarily focus on getting these Mage Tower upgrades, particularly the Critical Mass, but we will get some Tornadoes as well because they offer some really good stalling. I even went for a third barracks. Initially, I didn't. Initially, I ran for a Dwarven Mecha, but it's not as good here. I think that the extra just barracks is better because it's going to stall the Lycans out. It's going to stall stuff. You want them to spend as much time in the radius of that drill as possible. Another new enemy here. Ghost with Swords. Yeah, immune to physical damage, but they will stop and fight your reinforcements in barracks. So they do, and the assassins can dodge their attacks, so they can get some nice stalling there. See, I do drop a Rain of Fire at the top just because I was afraid they would run, and I wasn't able to stop them because they're getting out of range of the Necromancer Tower. So you will want some Mage Towers, of course, leveled up. And the wonderful thing about that Necromancer Tower is it hits both lanes. So it hits those guys when they come to the top. It also hits the guys on your main choke point in the center there. So it's just a really good tower to get early. Yeah, so more upgrades to our barracks. These abominations can be a bit tricky. That's where we've been kiting Aleric, and we're really trying to force him to stay in the center there. We did move Aleric to avoid him from dying. Obviously, you saw a bunch of Aleric, or a bunch of abominations explode. Aleric is still alive, so just make sure he doesn't die. Just kite him right back. You see their health bars start to drop. More werewolves coming out. I think the werewolves are, they're fairly tanky. They will slaughter your barracks if you don't have any kind of support, but the Assassin's Guild usually buy you enough time. Nice juicy Rain of Fire there. Whenever you see 3+ Lycans piled up, it's usually a great time to do a Rain of Fire. And the idea, of course, is we have a really, really strong choke points with Pestilence and all of that stuff to deal maximum amount of damage. Anything that decides to stand in one place. Ghosts are a push over here because we have enough Mage Towers. I got that 4th Mage Tower at the very top. I feel like that was really important. You aren't really going to touch archers here. Because of all the ghosts that are just immune to archers, there's really not a whole lot of reason to buy archer towers here. Particularly since the werewolves regenerate their health. It's just not a reason. Normally you get a lot of archers, but this level, not this level. So here is the scary wave that can catch you off guard. Not the center area, but pay attention to the top wave. You notice the moon is almost full. You can see it's ticking to that cycle, and here come 1, 2, 3 Lycans immediately turning into werewolves and racing down that center, or that top wave. I dropped a Rain of Fire on them, and I, moved my Aleric on the top, and we dealt with it. But if you don't have a barracks there, and you're not ready for it, man, those things can turn into werewolves, and they will be past your main defenses before you can even really react. It's a reset point if you're unprepared. So watch this video, and you'll be prepared. Assassins, Dark Riders, everything is getting maxed out as you get the cash to do it. Again, I don't really mess with the drill this level. The drill upgrade, the one-hit KO upgrade on the drill. I just get the Scorched Earth and let it be. Aleric, you can just keep in the center. I'm rotating him down now. Normally he's going to stand at that main choke point, but he will come down to stall these abominations. You just kind of, it's like, oh, it's an abomination wave. You know what to do. Move him down. Try to stall as much as possible. See, he's dying very slowly because he's so tanky. You're going to use your reinforcements to try and keep all the abominations at the outer edge, right in that area so they can take the Scorched Earth damage. And a lot of abominations too. They're a bit scary. Necromancer Tower is doing absolute work top, creating a wonderful choke point for these zombies. Just whenever you get reinforcements up, just look to see where you can place them. I placed one at the top, then I placed them at the bottom. I kind of just pay attention. Assassin's Guild being rotated now. to the bottom to try and stall out these abominations. That's is a bit tight wave on wave 13. Probably not as bad as 12, but you do have to kind of be ready and do some kiting. Dark Rider, again, he can be moved back and forth as needed too, so we have quite a few tools. You got multiple assassins guilds, and the Dark Rider and your Aleric, so use them as you need. More ghost here. I think wave 14 is kind of a gimme wave because all the ghosts are really not going to be a problem, especially if they're coming down the center. We just have enough mage towers to just chew through them really, really quickly. Despite being immune to most forms of damage, they just, like paper, they die super quick to mage towers, so. Aleric is just chilling out there. He can take a few hits from these dudes with this Ghost of the Swords, but they do a lot of damage to anything that they're able to hit, so I wouldn't let him stand there too long. More Lycans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's full moon time, so you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna run there, but they're standing in the Pestilence. They get stuns by the artillery, and they're gonna take a rain of fire, so it makes pretty quick work of those guys. Maybe I did do a drill. I think at the very end here I did do a drill upgrade, but it was like wave 15, so you know I was getting some tornadoes here at the top, trying to buy myself some time against the dupe of the swords. I make a critical air there and accidentally sell the wizard tower, which is really, really silly. Fortunately, it did not cost me the game because we had enough damage elsewhere. But yeah, don't do that. If you are on the PC and you're spam clicking, be careful. And that's about it. Last Lycans are dying. See you later, bro. Easy 3 stars. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. You have a good one.